Hello and welcome to Remember Me.
The stories of our babies. I am Eli's mum, Chelsey Tookie.
And I'm Mila's mum, Helena and In this podcast, we'll be talking all about the stories and memories of our babies while they were alive, from womb to world and the beyond.
Here we will ask you the questions that no one ever asks you after your baby dies. Let's humanise their existence and give dignity to their passing whilst breaking the taboo of baby loss.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Remember Me, the stories of our babies. I'm Helena, and I am here with our wonderful host, also
Chelsey.
And today we're going to be talking about, what is it?
We'll be talking about our coping strategies and what helps us with our grieving process, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we decided that it would be good to look at how our coping has changed from the very first months all the way to where we are now. So I'm on my second year, and Chelsey, what year are you on now, or going up to?
I will nearly be at year 3.
Yeah, so it'd be quite interesting to see how some of the things are similar and also how they've changed from when we started and to where we are now. So would you like to start off with talking about how you managed to cope your
Yeah.
grief?
I mean, the first few months was just a bit of a blur, to be honest. I struggled a lot to cope, and I found myself throwing myself into things, just in ways to honour Eli and remember him. It was my way of parenting him. So I would, just focus on writing to him. I had a little notebook, which I used to write letters to him. And every time I'd feel down or, felt like I needed to express myself, I'll just pick up my pen and write to him. And in terms of support that I received from, I didn't really have any local charities or support groups that I could rely on. So with me, I was mainly really depending on like my family close to me, Dean as well.
Okay, yeah, thank you for sharing that. I think writing is always one of those things that they encourage you to do as well. Actually, I remember when, as soon as I'd started doing the counselling, I don't know if you were able to receive this, and I'm not sure if this is UK wide or worldwide, doubt it, where you get 6 weeks worth of counselling, bereavement counselling from the NHS. And one of the first things she told me to do was to write. And for me, that felt so weird because it's like, who am I writing to? What am I writing for? And what am I even going to write about? So writing was actually, I felt like it was a silly thing to do. And I just did it out of force to do something. And I think one thing to also remember is like, yes, we use the word coping, but really what we really need to do is just feel like, which is what we can do. That's why you said like it was a blur, because you can't really do anything. It's not going to change the fact that your baby's not there, which is what you really want. So you end up just
Surviving.
you just
Yeah,
need to feel it
yeah.
as well, isn't it? Like you just are waking up.
You're literally, it's like, like when people like say, just get through the day. For me, I was focusing on getting through the next minute, the next hour. You know, the day seems so long, right, when you're in the thick of it. So for me, it was like focusing on getting through like the next hour or whatever.
And like you're so right, like it's, to be honest, my days didn't really feel like days. um they just felt like one long, like if I was to look back, especially the first, let's say maybe 3 6 months, it just feels like one long day, almost like it was just one
Yeah,
long thing.
yeah.
um yeah, it's all just crazy. What did you notice happened to you? Like, I remember I fully regressed. I always just remember this so specifically because I always talk about it. But I did go home and I watched The Lion King. It was almost like so surreal. Like, I regressed. I know I became a child. It feels so weird because it almost felt like, that psychology thing that they say in school about regression and when you go through trauma. I felt that happened to me. Was there anything, and that was my coping, I guess. Was there anything immediate that happened to you right at the beginning?
I actually, you just made me remember. I actually went and watched Peter Pan. So maybe it's, yeah. I didn't think of, why. It was more because that's how I associate Eli with. But yeah, thinking about it, it's probably just a regression,
Mm,
isn't it?
yeah, yeah. And you said like you were lucky to have your family. Does that mean that, you were literally able to just call them when you're having a crisis, or?
Yeah, so Dean, he didn't leave me for a while. He was signed off work, and I remember his, I don't know, grief outlet. He decided to buy a new car. That was his impulsive grief
Okay.
cry, I suppose. And yeah, so I remember him and his dad went to go and view this car, and it was only maybe a month after Eli died. And I just remember I just broke down. Like, it was the first time I'd been left on my own. And I remember ringing him, like, where are you? Like, I need you. You need to come home. And it was more like, I was so worried that something awful was going to happen to him as well. Like, I don't know about you, but even now, if he doesn't pick up the phone, or, if I haven't heard from him in a while, like, my instant thought is something bad's happened. And it's not just him, it's like all of my close, it's not nice, but I do remember that. But yeah, so no, I was luckily enough to, my mum, I'd ring her if I was having a bad day, and she'd sort of or listen to me ranting
Yeah,
away.
that's quite nice that you had that. You just reminded me actually, you're
Mm,
saying about when he went out, you thought something happened. And I agree
yeah.
with you. I feel like that's so much about like even the most mundane things. Like I work in recruitment, right? And whenever I have to call a this is so weird. If I have to call a candidate about work and they don't pick up, immediately I'm like, okay, they did. Literally, I like
Hmm.
obviously it's not like if they don't pick up the first time, but if I've called you 3 times and you haven't picked up, I like honest, they are dead. They are so dead. Like it's crazy how my mind has gone to
It
that.
is. It is. It's mine's exactly the same. Even like I'll ring Dean and he don't answer, and then I'm like, right, I'll ring him again, and I'll ring him like 3 times, and it's something so stupid like he's on the phone to someone else,
Mm,
but my instant feeling is bad feelings,
yeah.
and
And for
yeah,
me, like even I was a bit I've had a little upset with my husband recently, and like I was like, I'm not gonna speak to him. I'm gonna have that time of like not speaking to him for a little bit. And then immediately like I start to worry like, oh my God, something can happen. Something can really happen right now. Like you have to make the most of
yeah.
relationships whilst they're here because anything can happen at any moment. So you're like
I'm
living life on
exactly the
eggshells,
same,
isn't it?
actually. Yeah, yeah,
Um,
definitely.
in terms of like when you were talking about you could call your mum, you just rant.
Mm.
I could definitely absolutely do that with my mum, but I felt it easier to call helplines. And I think it's because I didn't want to at the time it felt like I'm constantly bombarding people. I'm going to be a burden and there's going to be a time where people are going to expect me to stop calling about these things or stop repeating the same thing because it's already happened. So right at the beginning that's already my mindset. So obviously in the hospital I was given the SANS helpline and they tell you, "Oh, give them a call about anything." So I would call the SANS helpline. Honestly, I think every single day I called for like almost a month. But the annoying thing with the SANS helpline is that it's only during the day. I don't know, I can't remember. I think it stops at maybe 5 or something. And a lot of my crises would happen at nighttime, like midnight, where I'm just
Yeah, I remember
staring at
you
the
saying,
ceiling. So
yeah,
I'd have to call the Samaritan helpline. Oh,
yeah.
like I'm just having flashbacks of those moments like, oh my God, telling that story again and again. Oh,
I think that's why I didn't
mm,
really. I mean, I rung up a helpline like a couple of
mm,
times with it was Sands, and don't get me wrong, it did help at the time, But I think having to explain myself again and again. That's what it didn't upset me talking about him, but I was just so like exhausted from having to go over it every time. And I remember, so I did have the 6 weeks with the bereavement counsellor at hospital, but we didn't really see eye to eye. Um,
You have to go into that. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
no,
What does that mean? What did she say?
no, like, she was sort of on the midwife side because she like works there, etc. Whereas, so I was sort of saying one thing and she was sort of not sticking up for them, but sort of saying it from their point of view and stuff like that. So obviously, instantly, I mean, I was just like, no, this isn't. Is it? I mean, I did stick with it. I think it was for 6 weeks. I might have even had a little bit longer, but I just didn't really see any help. But I think it's because I was so
Yeah.
angry in my situation with the hospital that I just couldn't really, I don't know, trust her, I suppose.
Was
Um,
she
but yeah, and then other, I went through Uplift. I'm not sure if you probably haven't heard of that. It's like a local, it's also NHS, but nothing to do with the hospital, but it's like for mental health. And I had um, therapy and I had CBT therapy as well, which was for my PTSD. So
I
yeah.
remember that. But just going back to the counseling, so was she being like playing devil's advocate?
You could say that.
You can't be
Yeah, it
playing devil's
was.
advocate
Yeah,
with a child who's dead. Like, what are you doing?
yeah, no, yeah. Hence why I didn't really get
At
on
the end,
with
to be
her.
honest, they just need to agree with what we're saying. If they just agree, or like obviously it depends, if I'm saying something that's going to be life threatening, then help me maneuver my
Mm.
language and thoughts, but
I
acknowledge.
think she was worried if she agreed, then it would go back on
That's so
her.
bad.
If that, I mean, I could be completely wrong. I was like literally in the thick of grief, and but that's how it
Yeah,
felt to
that's not
me.
good. You see, with the CBT, is that the one where they
Mm.
go? I remember doing one where she went, "All right, so you're gonna sit there and you're gonna look at that day as if it was a movie."
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
I fell asleep actually. I don't know how it made it a peaceful experience for me to fall asleep.
To be fair, I found it quite helpful. So I had PTSD quite
Mm,
badly, and what she made me do was go through. I had to sit there and shut my eyes, go through what had happened, and any trigger points, where I'd get really emotional or angry or what have you. She sort of logged them, and then I had to. I think she explained it as putting new memories
mm,
on them. So, um, for example, I don't know about I can't even think, it was so long ago now, but the way she explained it was quite good. And basically she basically explained that all the flashbacks I was getting is because of my memories hadn't like organized themselves properly, so that's why we had to go through it all and like organize my brain.
At the time, I don't know if it helped me. I don't know how I feel about it. It did. I
Hmm.
don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I liked to
It
think about
depends.
it as a movie.
Yeah, this is the thing as well. It depends on
Mm,
who you have and whether you get on with her. Like obviously, my bereavement counselling, I hated. I didn't think it helped me at all. But I think it's because of the relationship that I had with
mm,
her. After my CBT therapy, because you only get like a set. I think I had 12 weeks, which was like the maximum, and I think she let me have a couple more weeks, and then she had to like pass me on to someone
okay.
else. Um, and then yeah, she was helpful as well. The next sort of person, but yeah, that first one was just
Yeah,
no, not
I
for
hear that, and
me.
that's crucial. Like to have, and also was the person. I don't know. I feel like part of me would like to have sat with someone who has experienced what I've experienced, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I remember doing one therapy. What's the NHS talking therapies? And the wo- the woman, it was video call, and I think she'd asked me at the start, "Do you want me to respond or not. I don't know. She must have asked like some questions of how do you want this to go? What do you want me to say? And I think I must have said, just listen. I don't know. I must have said that because I can't remember. And all I know is that whenever I was saying anything, like whenever she'd ask me something, she would just give me nothing back. Like there was no emotion. And I remember underneath my laptop, I kept doing this. I had my middle finger up to this woman because I was just so angry. I was like, I'm sharing this with this lady, but I don't feel like she even cares. Like, oh, yeah.
Give me something. Yeah.
It's
Wow.
incredible. Um, I had a lot of moments of silence as well. Like I wanted to be entirely alone. Obviously, I wanted to be with my husband, and it was great. We got to spend a lot of time together, like 2 weeks, and he was afraid to leave me alone. Um, but when I did get alone time, somehow I enjoyed that peace of being by myself. I don't know.
Mm.
Um, did you have? So this is still in the first few months. Like when people would come to visit, for example, and obviously I wanted people to come and visit, and I think I wanted the thought of them being in my house, but I didn't want to be next to them.
Yeah, I think it's more of like having to socialize. Well, with me, I'm like, as soon as someone comes to my house, I'm offering them drinks and stuff. And I don't know, a cup of
Yeah.
tea. And I think it's like, obviously, when all these people came over, I felt like I should be doing like
Oh,
stuff, and I
really?
just had no energy. And I was just like, yeah, I think it was
Hosting.
more that. And having, yeah, and the energy to actually have a
Mhm.
conversation. Like, I just didn't have it in
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
you know.
I stayed at my parents' house for a little bit, and I remember in the room upstairs, and then two family members came, and I heard them saying, "Oh, we're here to see." So my name in Portuguese is my middle name, is what they call me. So Natasha. I've got so many names. Sorry. So they were like, "We're here
Yeah.
to see Natasha," and then I was like, "Oh God." Don't. So I pretended to be sleeping, but I love the fact that they were there. Like I was like, oh my God, this is good. And then my sensei, so my karate teacher from when I was 11 years old. I have to talk a little bit about her actually on here, because I feel like, yeah, I hope we're not deviating from coping, but it's just about my coping with silence, and this is how I spent my silence with her. So I want to talk about that specific day. She came to my mum's house, and since I was 11, like she's always been like family for me. She's like in her 60s, and she's this fierce karate woman. And she just came with some flowers, and she bought a card and some money that the karate squad had put together for me. And she just cried with me, and then we just sat in silence. And that moment was gold. It meant so much for me just to know that there was so much solidarity from the people in my karate class, and as well with my sensei, to just be in my house sat there. Like I felt like that helped me cope because I was being seen, like my baby was mattered. It was part of this karate family as well. Mm, yeah.
Can I just go on and ask you about this karate? What
I
belt?
black belt.
I was one away from a black belt and I
Oh my
quit.
God. Why did you quit?
When I was like
I
17,
quit as well,
yeah.
actually, at around that time, and then I went back after uni, and that's when I did the first Dan.
I I have been
Just get
debating,
it,
but
just so that
yeah.
you can say you've got it. Like you were one
Well,
away. What karate did you do?
I know. Seijei Juku.
I did Shotokan. Do you know what? Yeah, you're doing it. You're going back just to get
How
that.
mad is that? Like we haven't even spoke
No.
about all our
Oh my
similarities
God.
and what we have in common, and that's another thing. There you go. What are the
Oh my God. We're so
chances
meant to be. We're like a match made. I will say in heaven, right?
in
Because our
heaven?
kids are there. So we were made by them essentially, like this union. So it was made in
Yeah,
heaven.
love that. Love that.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Oh,
Yeah, but I know I get what you mean. Like with the, just sitting in silence and crying with you, like that. Because it's just hard to
mm,
talk and like I really found it hard to like articulate myself and my feelings and yeah, I just found it
yeah,
so draining.
absolutely.
But then there are other days where I was like, this happened, this happened, this happened, and ranting and, telling everyone my whole story. And then it would feel like so good. And like when I used to write, I just used to get it all off my chest and it just
Mm,
felt like a weight had lifted just slightly for a
yeah.
little bit. But, I needed it, the release
Yeah,
almost,
no, I completely hear that.
But I definitely think if I'd have gone back to karate, that would have been so good to help with my
Imagine,
grief.
did you think about it?
I've been toying with it over, for years. Um, but with me, it's more of like a confidence of just going back, going on
But
my
I mean,
own.
like, specifically during your grief, like those early first months,
Mhm.
did it ever come to your head like, oh my God, I need to just go back and release all this anger?
Not necessarily to do that, but definitely I just felt like I needed to let go of all this like anger, and just scream or shit. Like there would be days where I'd wail on my
Mm,
floor and like scream and shout, and I probably sounded like I was losing the plot, but I just needed that like
yeah,
release,
the wailing is so good. It's so good. Where
Hmm.
my family's from in Angola, they've got professional wailers that go to funerals.
Stop,
Yeah.
stop. That's what we
Yeah,
need.
because
We
it
need that.
encourages, right? Encourages the family to also do that if they want to, because
Yeah,
you you need to release that. That's literally the feeling that you get. You want to wail, and remember that book, Moving Beyond. There's an Osho meditation. I don't know if I mentioned this already. Yes, I did, but the wailing and the frantic dancing. Oh my God, it's
I need to
it's
get involved.
literally sick. Like, I remember doing that probably in the first month and just being like, "This is what I need." I did a lot of crazy things. Not no, it's not crazy. I don't know why I'm saying crazy. I'm saying crazy because it's like I did loads of like outlandish things that I probably wouldn't have thought of doing. So I went to Waterstones. This was probably in January actually, so still like fresh in a month. And I got this book called The Psychic Bible because I was so determined that I wanted to be a psychic. And like because I wanted to connect spiritually. You get it. You get it. So
Yeah, of
anyways, I'm
course.
opening this book and it's got like loads of different um ways of doing like medium type things or spiritual type things to connect with your ancestors, your loved ones and stuff. Like for example, writing was definitely one of them. There was like teaching you how to read tarot cards. There were these stones from like the Vikings or something that you could throw in the air and then whatever came down is the answer. I even bought myself a pendulum, right? Literally, I bought myself a
Hmm.
pendulum from Etsy and then I would ask Mila questions. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I'd be like, Mila, are you here? And then wherever it moved, I would just be like, oh my God. Oh, this is taking me back because I literally forgot that I did that. And then, wow, there was one thing in that book where it talked about your aura. So I remember getting a mirror in front of me and just staring myself in the mirror for ages, hoping to see the aura around me and if it changes color. And if I was able to see this, then it meant that I would be able to see her somehow. How weird.
Well, it's not weird at the time though. It gets us through.
Yeah, it's not weird. It's not weird at all, actually. It
It's not
isn't.
weird.
It's,
I'm sure there's plenty of people doing that
do
like
you know what I
right this
mean?
second.
Yeah, it's what we have to do.
Yeah. No, I was proper into my crystals. Um, I actually got I had one, or like, I think I mentioned it in my one of my episodes. I bought one which matched Eli's one, which he had with him in a coffin. Yeah, and I used to like every time like I'd feel myself getting upset or like the tension, like just the tension when you're like out when you see a baby or something. I just used to like really squeeze it. I think actually that little stone in my pocket helped me more than I realised at the time.
What stone was it?
What was it? It was a site. I can't remember the word. I'm gonna have to find out. It was like it was meant to like connect you.
What color is it? I think I got the same stone.
It's like a bluey, like a light blue one.
And is it a bit flaky? Or is
Yeah,
it
no, flaky.
We might have to, I don't remember the name of mine either, so we might have to do an episode on this
Yeah.
because again, I did the same thing. Um, and the thing is, right, I had it as a necklace, and whenever I go to sleep, it used to give me really weird dreams. So I stopped wearing it because I was having way too many like out crazy dreams. Like it was scary dreams actually, and that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to connect you somehow,
Oh,
or like you're supposed to receive messages as well. But yeah, that was too much. I don't know if it was, no, it was definitely happening. Do you know what I really loved about what you've done with Eli is that you really thought about his funeral, by the way.
that was like me keeping myself busy, you know?
How did you think about doing those things? Because you specifically were like, okay, I'm going to put this in here and I'm going to have this with me. And da, da, da. Did you think of that yourself or did you do some Googling? How did you?
No, I literally just thought of like, because I was into crystals anyway, and I was looking, I think it might have been like his birth crystal, if that's such a thing, or something. It's to do with his birthday.
Yeah.
And I was looking into it and I was like, oh, I don't know. We had like so much, like the poor boy probably had no room in there. Like he had so much stuff in with him. Like I even cut a bit of my hair off
I know,
and
this is what I
sewed
mean.
it into a teddy bear. And I remember doing it. And I literally picked like the worst bit of hair. I literally had it from the front. So it was like really bad. But it was like, I don't know. I just like, oh, I had a lock of his hair and it was like my way of saying, sorry to take your hair and have some of mum. You know what I mean? It was just weird. Like, yeah, no,
Chelsea,
I
you're
don't
so
know.
creative. I feel like what you need to do, right? What we want from you is an episode of all the creative things that you've done because I feel like you might give people ideas that they might not have ever thought about. Like you even need to write a blog about this because a lot of the things that you've done to honor your son, to honor Eli, are things that people might not think about and they're so meaningful. Like
Yeah.
they're so particular, they're so detailed. Like, do you know how amazing that is?
No, I know. I don't know because I never really think about it. I just,
Please, please,
yeah,
please do it because you will help. You will help some others out there. You definitely have helped me to think of some things that I could do for Myla. So we need that.
yeah, yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god.
No, but yeah, there are. Yeah, I don't know how well, I don't know. I think where I had so long. I mean, I actually, do you know what else I done? Right. So I've got a cricket machine. I don't know if you know what that is. It's like a vinyl. You know, like
Okay.
you can print off the letters. Anyway, and you can iron them onto tops or whatever. I actually made Eli a vest for his day, right?
Wow.
And I had the matching, so I made the same print on my jumper. So I
Wow.
had his name and like a quote from Peter Pan. Then like I had like the Peter Pan silhouettes on it, and we was like matching that day.
Oh my
I literally, I
god.
don't even know where I have these ideas. They literally just come out
It's
from
so
nowhere.
thoughtful and it's just like so, I mean, regardless, our babies are always going to be connected with us. There's just no other way around it. But like these little things just make it feel that much more special.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, no, that's really cool. Did you do any other things like any exercises or stuff that, you know,
Um, No, I didn't want to leave the house. I was literally, if I could have become a hermit, I would have been one.
yeah,
But you know what it's like. Everyone's like, you should get out. Dean was like, yeah, and I think, to be honest, I think Dean was the same a bit. But we did, go out for walks. But then at the same time, I'd find myself being triggered when I was out all the time. By kids and babies and yeah, but no, I did try and go for a walk and yeah, just put my headphones in, put my hood up.
your
My
armor.
armor, yeah, definitely. No, I definitely like to rainy walk so I could have my hood up without looking like and less people out as well in the rain. I used to take the dog and to be fair, my dog is like my sanity.
Mm,
Even though, they drive me mad, she got me through so much.
animals do
They
that.
just know.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do that, don't they?
Yeah.
It's also someone to hug, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. They are scientifically proven to cure depression.
Mm. Because like the aching arms feeling is real. Like that saying aching arms is so, I know that's a charity, but using that phrase, they chose it for a reason because it's very specific. That's exactly how it feels. It is aching. Your arms are aching to hug your baby. And so obviously hugging an animal is not going to take that away, but it's just that warmth of like physically cuddling
Yeah,
feels,
and being needed as well, I think,
yeah.
because I was sort of at the point where I was like, what is the point of me being here?
Mm,
You know, my baby don't need me to look after him.
yeah,
Like he's in heaven, like, you know? And it was just that being needed by another being, you know?
yeah.
To like to look after something and to nurture something, you know? And I think that's why I ended up getting another my puppy at the time.
Yeah.
He drives me insane sometimes, but you know.
So your puppy is probably around the same, how old, like same age?
Well, she's not. Yeah, she's not a puppy anymore. She is no. So I got her quite a lot after
Oh, okay.
Eli.
Mm.
Yeah, I basically waited. We moved out because we lived in a flat before. So we when we moved out, that's when we got the pup. So
Uh,
she's going to be 2 next February.
okay. Okay.
So there's a year. Yeah, obviously he's going to be 3 in December. So it weren't straight after. As much as I wished it was, it wouldn't have
Yeah.
worked. You know.
Yeah. You were saying about like music as well, actually, and then I said art, it just like it became my uniform to have my headphones. I would not go out without having headphones on and music blasting. And some of the things that I would also be listening to, um, I became, so around February, so 2 months after Mila, I became really intrigued with Spiritism. Remember in one of our episodes, we spoke about what is Spiritism, and it's basically a religion that talks about mediumship and how it's evidence based talk about how spirit continues and stuff like that. So I and in Brazil there's like a really massive believing of this religion, and there's a guy called Alan Kardec. He's a French guy. You should watch his film. It's on Netflix. It's called Kardec or Kardecism or something like that. I'm going to quickly briefly explain. So basically, back in the 1800s, um, like seances and all these kind of spirit talk was all the craze. And he was a scientific academic guy, and he was like, this is ridiculous. This stuff isn't real. People are making it up. And then somebody kept coming to him and saying, no, this is real. This is real. Why, with your academic background, why don't you do some research? So he did his research. He was like, fine, I'll do it. And his research was basically speaking to over 100 different mediums across the world, right? And he would ask them specific questions, probably like 1,000 questions. There's literally a book with all the questions. But basically, he asks the same question. So one of the questions would be like, is there a God? Or can spirits speak to us? And every single one of these 100 different mediums from across the world who did not know each other, and also think about the 1800s, there's no like internet where people can, Google the answer. Everyone said the exact same answer. And the answer was obviously coming from the spirit realm, right? They're the ones that are giving the answers. And so I watched this film and I was like, whoa, so, this stuff is legit. So then I ended up listening to this thing on Spotify, which is that Alan Kardec school teachings. And basically, the woman goes through his book. It's so big, I didn't even manage to finish it. So I wanted to buy the book physically, but I ended up just listening to it on Spotify. And she goes through the teaching of the book. So the book is called The Spirit's Book. So yeah, very simple. Oh, and there's one, the Book of Mediums. So then after that, um, I ended up joining a course in February, and it's called Get to Know Spiritism, and this became my coping. Literally, I every Saturday from 8 p.m. was it 8? Or 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., 2 hours. They are all based in America, but they're run by like some Brazilian school. I was literally listening in. They're teaching about how does mediumship work? Is it real? And like morals and all this kind of stuff, how to be a good person, all this kind of stuff. Honestly, this was the key that made me really feel oh, okay, the sentence that I came up with for myself was, it is awful that my daughter is dead, but unfortunately we're all going to die, right? She just went before me, and I hate it so much, but that's what I was going with, basically, to cope. But yeah, spiritism saved me. I can definitely say it saved me. Mm.
Wow. Yeah, no, that is, and I wanted to go back because you said about your headphones being your armor. Do you know what I walked around with, right? I made no, no, no. I made a grief bag, right? So I had in there earplugs, I had a packet of tissues, I had my crystals, I had, and there was one particular one which I used to like rub because they say all about like senses when you're triggered, right? So I used to like rub this stone. What else did I have in there? Something that smelled, um, and like a packet of mints or something like that. But I found it so helpful because I'd like get, obviously you get triggered like you don't expect it, but I just used to carry it around in my bag with me all the time.
That's such a sick tool to have. Honestly, it is because you're so prepared, right?
Yeah, I'll have to remember. I mean, I haven't taken. I don't even think I've got it anymore. But I wrote down. I think for my book, what was actually in there. So I'll definitely have to get the list of what was actually in there. But yeah, it definitely helped me a lot. Oh, and I had sunglasses as well.
Oh my God, like, in the movies where they've got the widow and then she's just with the
Yeah,
the black
yeah,
shades. Yes, that is what we are,
yeah.
widowed mothers.
But yeah, no, I do recommend like making some sort of grief bag, as I called it.
That's such a good tool to have. It's yeah, to be prepared, isn't it?
Actually, there was this mum that I followed on Instagram, and she used to do like a not a course, but it was about like connecting with your child and stuff. And we had to like sort of do like not rituals, but like sort of say things and yeah. And I think that helped me. It was like a weekly thing that she'd used to like upload a video, like an activity to do and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's so nice. I think with what you're going with there, that was definitely me on my first year, like connecting with other mums, because that those whole first few months, nothing. For me, I was the only person in the world this ever happened to for
Yeah.
those very first few months. I didn't even know there's this whole community. So like my first year of it, I went into Instagram, or just before the first year, so probably October into the first year. Instagram, followed Journey for Jasmine. She was the first ever person I followed on my original Instagram, and she does like loads of amazing things. She's so vocal. And I was just like, oh my God, I feel seen, I feel heard. But here's me thinking she's the only one. She's the
No,
only
definitely
one.
not. I actually wore her skirt. The Yeah,
Oh
yeah, when I was
my
pregnant
God.
with
Oh,
Dakota.
I really wanted to get the skirt, but I didn't end up doing it. But she said you can do it after.
Yeah,
So
go
I'm
for
like,
it. Yeah, definitely.
wow.
See, if we'd have known each other then, I could have sent it to you.
Imagine. Look how everything is just so
I think I had to
connected.
send it back to Australia or somewhere.
Wow, it's been around the world, literally.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, I wore that when I was pregnant with Dakota.
Wow, how incredible.
Yeah.
Like this one skirt connecting all these women and people. Like, it's amazing. Um,
I was quite early though with like following people.
really.
So I was quite lucky in that aspect. I mean, I did join the Sands group, but to be honest, I think I like unfollowed it not long after because it was like too much, you know. I think I followed it too early because the hospital sort of say, right here, here's your tools, not even that. Like, and I followed it straight away, and I was like, no, I can't, like, no.
It's not for me. Yeah. Do you know what it is? I also remembered actually I joined Facebook groups and it was similar in the sense of like this is great in the beginning, but then afterwards it does become a little bit triggering. But it's a great
Yeah.
space to like share. But you're so right. So what's for you? What's the difference between following a mum on Instagram and following
I
Sans
think it's like the
groups?
connection that you make with the other mums, you know? Um,
Mm,
I mean, there are so many that I mean, I talk to on a daily basis. I still talk, regularly to them now. And yeah, I think it's just having that connection.
yeah.
Yeah, no, so I think that's all it is really, just a connection. And yeah, I think with the Facebook group, there's so many. And it opens your eyes to how common it is as well, because there's so many posts and pictures, and yeah, you just like, then you kind of, yeah, you don't feel alone, but then you're like, getting angry. I used to get angry every time I saw like another baby had died, and I was just, yeah, like the anger and the,
Yeah.
like, why is it happening still?
Like for me to think that there's babies who have died after Mila is beyond me. Like I'm always like, what?
Mm,
Or like I remember specifically on her birthday, I was like, someone somewhere is having the same experience whilst I'm here celebrating her day.
mm-hmm.
And then I recently connected and did a live with a mom who, it was the exact same day, and I was just like, oh, why?
Yeah,
It's so it's
shit.
awful. It's awful. I never went to the physical in-person groups because I was scared.
Yeah, we haven't really got any like local. Like we have like, it's like an hour drive. So,
Mm.
and to be honest, I mean, Dean, that weren't really for him. I
Yeah,
would have had to have gone on my own, which I don't like doing anyway. And
yeah.
I also did like get a fear of driving at some points, like just, yeah, no, I just thought that something was going to happen quite often. And then when Dean would be driving like to work or something, I used to be like, make sure you text me when you get there, so I know you're all right. I don't know why. It was just, yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. I remember I would intoxicate myself a lot. I'm not going to go into too much detail there, but um,
I actually didn't,
I
surprisingly.
did. I was like, yeah, let me just take this. I did that for probably the first 2 months because then I ended up getting pregnant with Arinze. So obviously, don't do that. But before I was like, anything goes.
Wow.
I need to numb this pain.
So probably it was a blessing, really, in more ways than one, being pregnant with him. Because, yeah,
Yeah, because who knows where that would have taken me. And I'm not even that kind of person actually to just like, every day.
yeah. I know. I was like, I wouldn't even, because I've never really been like a big drinker or anything anyway. So I've never been like one to like drink indoors. Like, don't get me wrong, when I go out, I drink, I get drunk. Like you go out to get drunk. But I was like, I don't even want alcohol in the house because I
Wow.
just don't want to fall down that hole.
Mm, yeah, I definitely was like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. Um, Now let's think a bit about the first year. I think the first year, like, preparing for their birthdays and for Christmas and stuff like that.
Mm,
I think how I coped was exactly that by preparing. Because if I were like, I started thinking about her birthday plans probably in February, and I started buying things around August so that I would have everything prepared for December. Like, and for Christmas, oh my God, I went all out, and I'm not really creative in terms of like artistically so, um, like visually, I'm not really good at that kind of stuff. But personally, I was very proud of myself.
well done, you.
Thank you. I think you would have been proud of me, but now I'm gonna leech some of your ideas. So basically, cool. So I had the Christmas tree up, right? And then where the Christmas tree was next to the TV. So imagine there's a space here, TV stand is here. And then on the TV stand there was a little bit of space. So I bought a tiny Christmas tree. I made like a little set Yeah, I made a set with lots of like cotton to pretend it was snow. Then I bought a chair that said, "This chair." Oh, I can't remember what it says, but this chair is for the person who is missing. They will be sitting here for Christmas. On the side, it had Mila's name. Then I bought a little lantern, and inside the lantern, it can have lights. So it lights up, and then I put three pictures of her inside the lantern. So on three
Wow, I
sides.
love that. I'm proud.
Oh, and then I had like medicine boxes. I wrapped them very neatly and I put a little bow on top of them so that they look like presents.
Oh,
Medicine
that's
boxes.
cute. That is
It's
cute. I was smiling to begin with because Eli's got his own Christmas tree.
Oh, does he have a is it a small one or a big one?
It's small but not tiny. I don't
Yeah.
know, like
Oh.
yeah, and he's got like ornaments and stuff. So every year
Yeah.
I'll buy him a new ornament.
Honestly, I think that's what makes me look forward to
Yeah,
Christmas. Whereas my husband, he obviously, for him, he detests Christmas, but I still have that thing of looking forward because I know that I'm going to do something to show her off. I think
yeah,
that's what it is.
yeah,
Showing her off
yeah.
is what makes me feel
Love
excited, I
that.
guess.
Yeah, no. So I obviously had the first year we obviously got married, didn't we, in the June.
Mm.
So I after the wedding, that was when I was like sort of thinking of birthdays and stuff. And I must say, like the lead up is always so much worse, isn't it, than the actual day? Like the anxiety of the day and the stress of it, what it's going to be like. I always find that it's not as bad as I thought it would be, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
obviously, it's sad and, but we do have like nice moments as well.
yeah. No, absolutely, absolutely. I feel like so now I'm into going into my second year. Like the preparation that I did for her in the first year, I don't feel myself doing as much this year. I don't know if it's because I already have all the things that I want because I kind of wanted to keep it the same all the time.
Hmm.
Um, but it feels a bit weird this year. I don't know. I think I want to do it the same, like with, how I said I try to do it like the Day of the Dead, but I don't know if I want to do it the same at the same time. I haven't thought about it, and it's next
Yeah.
month.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know.
In my second year also I did marathon, and that was a great coping. That was amazing coping for me actually. The running, I hate running, never ran in my life before. I'm asthmatic background, not anymore. And so just the training alone, it's not even the actual marathon in itself. That was a great feat, but the training alone, you've done it as well. So how amazing.
Well, I done a half one, not a full one.
But I mean the training is the same. In my training, I never did the full marathon. I went up to a half, I think. How does your brain feel?
I definitely didn't do enough training.
But you trained, right? Or did you not train?
I've done a few runs.
How many runs did you do? And you went and did a half?
No, do you know what I found? So I went and done a few. No, I did do. I started off quite well,
Yeah.
and then I just sort of got bored. I do that a lot, and just finding the motivation and the time was quite hard. But
Mm.
once I was actually running, it did feel good. But then I'd be like, "Oh, I've been running for 20 minutes. I've got things to do.
No,
I'm not."
your brain is like this to
Yeah,
do, this, that
yeah.
to do.
Honestly, my brain does not stop.
No way.
Honestly, it's ridiculous. So yeah, I'd be running, and then I'd be like, oh, I might as well just go home and start that, or yeah, like it. Yeah, I'm just a nightmare.
That's so crazy because for me, it would be the complete opposite. Like, obviously, the first 5 to 10 minutes, maybe I'm thinking loads of different thoughts, like, oh, maybe I should stop, maybe I could do this, maybe I could do that. But then, straight after the 10-minute point, no thoughts whatsoever. It's the clearest. Honestly, it's like looking down the barrel and just seeing nothing but skies, blue skies. That's how it felt for me.
I wish I had that experience.
Honestly, that's why I
Wow.
loved it so much. Yeah. Um and I don't know. I feel like I understand what you're saying though in terms of the motivation because for me I applied. I only had I think 4 months to go or 3 months to go, whereas people apply a whole year in advance.
Mm.
So I had 3 months and I was like, everyone's been running. I've never run in my life. I need to make sure that I double my running and that I actually do it because I was terrified
Yeah.
of fucking it up and then being like, oh, I have to go home.
I think that's where I went wrong, because I booked it so much in advance, where I started running not long after I booked it. And then I was like, "Oh, I've still got all this time. Oh, I'll just start again," and that. So, and what I was doing is I'd done like a couple of races. So I went and like signed up to like a 5K
Oh,
run,
yeah.
and then I went and done like a 10K run just to motivate me to actually do the whole run rather than getting bored halfway round and thinking of all the stuff that I had to do at home,
But that's quite good though, because then you still did it, like you still tested yourself and you found the best way that works for you. And you've done that by
Yeah,
doing a 5K, doing a
yeah.
10K.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it cost me a fortune. Like if I'd done a marathon, because you have to pay for like each race.
Oh, this is news to me.
No, like the actual arranged races.
The 5K and the 10K.
Yeah.
How much are you paying?
It was like 25 to £30 each time.
I'm not paying to run. Do that by yourself.
Yeah, but you get a medal at the end.
Listen, Chelsea. I bet those medals are not even worth £10.
Probably not, no. But they made me feel good, all right? No, but honestly, I mean, I could have just done like a normal park run.
You're so funny. I love it. But I guess you're running with other people and you're getting the feel of like what it will be on the day.
Yeah, I mean, I was going with like one of the guys at work, so it was,
Yeah,
yeah. Otherwise, I don't have the confidence to just turn up on a park run and be like, run on my own.
really. I was literally
Yeah,
there
no.
was one point where it was raining and it was my running day and I could have easily gone home, but I was like, no, if I miss this day, I won't get to the target. Da-da-da. I went to Morrison's, right? Morrison's had like this tiny little space and I ran in circles in that tiny space just so not to miss a day.
Yeah, no, to be fair, I did actually run in the Thunder before. That was a bit
Oh my
scary.
God. I bet we've got so many marathon stories. I feel like we need to do a whole podcast on that because
Yeah,
that in itself is a feat.
yeah. But no, other than that, like in my second year, I don't know what else it was more with me just like doing things for him in his memory. Obviously, I started writing my book and that
Mm,
helped get a lot of from my brain. I think I started a
mm.
blog as well, which,
Oh, sick.
yeah, which just let the anger out a little bit.
So, with your book, when did you start it?
It was 2022, probably about. So
Okay.
it started off as just like thoughts and feelings and stuff like that. And then I was like, maybe I'll just make a book. And it was like 6 months after he died, I sort of started writing stuff. And then I sort of left it and then I went back to it. So it's been going on for a while, yeah.
And what's the name of this book?
Remembering Eli.
Can you tell us about the book, please?
Yes. Well, it's nearly finished. Um, it's aimed more for newly bereaved parents because there's like chapters with ideas for like funeral and stuff like that in there. But then it's also not just aimed at them because it's like different coping like skills and like different ways to remember your baby. There's a chapter in there from like other parents with like words for their little ones. And yeah, just dealing with the feelings. And there's like some bits where you can like journal entries and stuff, like letters to your baby and stuff like that.
Anything else coloring?
Yeah, I might do a colouring book as well with my illustrations.
Thank you. Gosh, I have to like pull it out of
It's so
you.
awkward when I talk about it. I don't know why. It's probably actually a really amazing book,
It
but I
is.
just don't give myself enough credit because I've always done that.
Yeah, and I'm here to stop that because
Yeah.
I don't
To be
appreciate that at
fair,
all.
that book is what I needed when Eli died. That's the thing that I keep having to tell myself
Mm.
because it's good because it's got like different like at the end of the chapter it's got like different um points, like bullet points of like ways to remember your baby. Like there's loads of creative ideas in there, by the way. So
I love that. I need
yeah,
to. I've been trying to read it, but I've just been so busy. But I'm
yeah.
definitely going to be doing that.
And like grounding techniques as well. So
Mm,
I put a lot that I learned from therapy and stuff in there,
good.
you know, like what helped me. Or I have to check. I think I put about the grief bag in there. That was a good tool, to be fair.
It sounds amazing. And you know what? You've just said something that I really believe. Like you said you have to remember that you're doing it for what you wish you had. And a lot of the times, like, for example, when I'm thinking of like, oh, if I want to do a podcast or if I want to do what I'm doing in my list present, if I don't do it, who's gonna really do it? Do you know what I mean? And then we complain sometimes about, oh, there's not enough representation, not enough awareness. But sadly, it has to actually come from us. And that's not to say that everyone should be doing it. Like, it's not everyone's responsibility to take this massive weight on for the whole world. But this work that you're doing and that all of us are doing in this space matters, and it's going to reach someone and help someone.
Yeah.
So
No, it's true.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's beyond us,
Yeah.
really. It is beyond us. Do you know, so one a lost mum from Canada who I speak to quite often, she's got Jaden's mum, Little Bean Foundation, sorry, Little Bean
Yeah.
Foundation. She sent me this quote from Kobe Bryant, and then I mean, he's talking about his basketball, but I kind of took that and I was like, this is what this is that we do. And he goes, when I'm on the court, well, I'm not saying it word for word. He goes, when I'm on the court, I have to remember I could be embarrassed, I could be this, I could be that, but it's not even about me. It's not about me. So why am I being selfish by thinking that it's about me? Like I'm doing this to help the other. So like when there's moments where we feel insecure or we feel like we're not good enough or we haven't done enough or whatever, stop being selfish to say that about yourself, because it's not even
Yeah.
about you in the first place. It's
No,
about
it's
your
true. Yeah.
son, it's about my daughter, it's about other people's babies. It's not even about us, really.
Yeah.
It is, but it isn't,
Yeah.
obviously.
I know what you mean. 'Cause, yeah. No, there was points where I was like, "Oh, should I do it? Should I do it?" And then I was like, yeah, obviously the self-doubt comes, but then you're like, "Yeah, do you know what? I needed something like this when he died.
Yeah,
So if I can help one other person, then that's all." Do you know what I mean?
exactly. And that's how all great things happen anyway, that
Yeah.
we have access to in life.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you about your third year. What has been the thing that's helped you cope? I'm assuming it's probably the book as well, but is there anything else?
Um, yeah, so I fell pregnant at the end of my second year. Um, we moved into my mum's house because we sold our flat and we couldn't find anywhere. And that's when I got my puppy Isabella, who drives me insane, but she definitely helped me massively, especially like being pregnant again, which you know is horrific. But yeah, her and the other dog definitely got me through a lot. But yeah, no, just writing the book and just doing things like in memory for Eli. Like, obviously, I've got his birthday coming up, so I will make sure I make it perfect for him. I've already bought my fireworks for him. Um, yeah, and I've just like getting busy, sort of arranging his walk because we do a walk every year, and yeah, I always keep myself busy, to be honest. I literally don't give myself any time to think, which is probably really bad, but it's just life.
No, I hear you. I think one thing that we both haven't noticed, and I think it would go amiss for us not to say, is obviously our children after our, babies,
Mm,
and they do help us cope too.
yeah,
It's not to say that it takes anything away from our children who, are firstborn children, because they remain, but it does help in some aspects to, be able to hold a baby like you just want to hold your son and your daughter. And it's not a replacement at all.
yeah,
Like, I don't believe
yeah.
that.
In
Um,
some ways, I feel like I actually grieved Eli more when she was born.
The comparing,
like we
right?
should do. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, and not only that, like now I'm like, yeah, my arms are full. I've got my little girl, but I should also have a 3-year-old like running around
yeah.
driving me mad. Like, so it's hard because, like, yeah, obviously, I mean, she makes the days more joyful and stuff, and busier. But I definitely do wish she was it. I mean, obviously, we all do, but yeah, part of me does grieve more now, funnily enough, since having her here, especially seeing her with other kids and
Yeah, I always think like, what would Mila be teaching
yeah,
Arinze?
yeah.
How would she be speaking to him? Like, what attitude would she be having? Like, mommy, he's doing this, or like being jealous, you know? Like,
Yeah,
I just want the attention. Yeah, and for me, lastly as well, what has helped me cope is obviously having Mila's present. There is not a day that goes by that I don't do something for it. And to be honest, it does not feel like a chore. I don't feel like I'm overworking myself. It obviously there are moments where I have to be like, okay, you need to take pause because you're overdoing it. But that is literally the most physical way for me to parent her, is by creating these personalized books, creating Instagram reels and whatever, anything that I can. It really feels the most active way to be like, oh, okay, she's here
yeah,
somehow,
yeah.
you know?
Love that.
So, yeah. Well, thank you ever so much, guys, for listening to yet another episode. Chelsea, is there anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
No, nothing I want to say, but I will recommend making a grief bag.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We have to give resources at the end of every episode, isn't it? So, Grief Bag will be the resource that you're giving today.
Yes, yes, and just look after yourself because, yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a nice place to be in when yeah.
And also remember, like, you will be having coping methods for the rest of your life. And sometimes you might not even realize it's a coping thing that you're doing, um, to be able to just go through your grief journey. But yeah.
And what hope stands for as well, I would say that.
What hope stands for.
Yeah, hold on, pain
Okay.
ends.
I've never heard that before.
I made that
Oh
up.
my god, you made it up. Okay, yes. We love it.
Don't lull me. I was trying to be really like nice and calm and just say, hold on, the pain ends, and you're lowing at
I
me.
love it. No, no. I was lolling at the fact that I didn't know what was happening.
No, I wrote it in my book. That's why I've just seen it in my book.
I was
Gosh.
thinking, what is that? No, because you said it as if it's like standard. I was like, lol, I don't know that. No, that is amazing.
You're
Hope,
welcome.
hold on, pain ends. Or it lasts forever. On that note, we're getting a bit tired, clearly. It's time for a nap.
I wish.
Thank you guys so much for being here today. It's always wonderful having listeners on the other end, and I hope that this finds and meets you at the right place of your grief. And we are so happy to hear from you. Like, we've got an Instagram, remember me our babies. That is our Instagram. Go join us there. If you have any suggestions, if you want to be involved in the stories that we are doing with other parents, please DM us, or any questions, comments, anything, please get involved. Please comment on Spotify because you can do that, or rate us on Spotify, whatever you think we're worth. You're right. The higher the better, because obviously more people will listen to what we have created here. But thank you so much.
Thank you, Eli. Thank you, Mila. And for those who are listening, may you receive a sign from your baby today.
Remember to be kind to yourself and take each moment at a time. With love, Mila and Eli's mums.